Hey guys, we're back. You know the Lifestyle Dropbox episode number 10. You know exactly where to find me on all the social medias. Yes, we have a special guest here. And as you can see, we just came from the beach. So before we go and jump into that, I just want to go ahead and give you guys my credentials. You can find me here on YouTube, actually Patreon and Spotify at Lifestyle Dropbox. You can also find me on Instagram at Lifestyle Dropbox _podcast and also at Lifestyle _drop_box if you would love to catch up with the events. Okay. We have Miss Africa here today. Yay! I forgot my little clapper. All right. We just came from Gunnison Beach. So as you guys know, last weekend jumped off swingers weekend. We had a blast down there the whole nine. You didn't get a chance to make it out, but
I was setting up for the party.
We made it out today, and I would love for you to go into detail and discuss some of that as well, so the folks can know exactly what you do. All right. So today we are discussing the poly life. All right. And the poly life, I'm here also as a curious interviewer. I personally am not in poly. I don't know much about poly. That's something that I probably would have to grow into and learn some more stuff, because I know it will stretch individuals. Definitely teach you about yourself, show you a few things about other people. There's a lot to go into. So I'm definitely here to learn, just like our audience. I'm going to go into detail, ask you some really important questions that I feel will extract as much information as possible. Okay. But we're here for you because you're the experienced one. You're the one that's going to be giving all the knowledge. So welcome again, Miss Africa.
Thank you.
All right. Now, how did we meet?
Oh, how did we? Here.
Yes,
here. So, although I am poly, I am part of the swingers lifestyle as well. So, you were hosting. No, matter of fact, I'm lying. You came to one of my parties first.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
You came to one of my Juneteenth parties. So I
have
an annual Juneteenth party every year. You came to my party. I forgot how you got invited, probably Wonder Woman, somebody.
Right.
You came and hung out, and you was like, "Oh, we gotta hang up and link up."
It.
And then I came to one of yours, and then we just been back and forth.
She throws some really dope events, guys. All right. She's a hard-working woman. She throws them. When I say she'll put out her flyers, she'll give you time, the whole nine. So there's no excuse on why you can't get in the door. She give you about 2 pay cycles in order for you to get your ticket. So there's no excuse. Her ratio is balanced. The people are beautiful. I personally enjoy myself every single time. I'm able to bring my toy bag out, do exactly what I like to do. So she's definitely a host that I recommend, especially if you're looking for that mature, controlled environment, no drama, no BS. Okay. So definitely look her up. Do you have a
I
Instagram?
do. My Instagram is ls.mz Africa for Ms. Africa .nsr Nubian Swingers Reloaded. So that's what it stands for.
All right, guys.
And then I forget. I do Fet Life. Don't ask. I have to find out because I don't remember because I'm old. And I do Twitter or X or whatever they call it now too. But yeah.
Okay. So you can find her exactly where she stated. Mm-hmm. Don't be trying to go in her WhatsApp and DM and all that stuff. You go exactly where she told you to go.
Find me on Instagram and I'll tag you for the rest because I can't remember all of those things because you just better at it than I am.
Listen, I appreciate it. And just so you know, I did lose a thumbnail. So if you see me kind of hiding,
it's all right. It's okay because when our nails are important.
It's floating in the water, guys. Okay.
All right. Is that what hit me?
Yeah,
no, I'm just teasing.
Listen, what is it with the baby kids with the toenail popped off and hit it in the... Oh, we ain't gonna talk about it. All right. So how did you get into the lifestyle? That's first question.
Oh, that's a really good question. I've always been curious in some weird capacity since I was young. I don't know why. I've always been the type of girl that had more than one friend at a time. Okay. I'll say it like that.
It's in you.
It's
That's always, what I always tell people. It's in you, or you're learning and coming across, or you met someone who got you into it. But it's in you for the people that really know about the lifestyle and really have that identity.
When I tell you my first boyfriend, we were like playing and making out in front of other people, and it turned me on.
Ooh.
Not knowing that it was a turn on for people like watching me. And I'm just like, I don't care. Somebody in the room, that doesn't bother me. Even my first nudist experience, I was like getting undressed and then didn't care.
So are you an exhibitionist? Do you like to have outdoor activity?
I'm a bit of everything.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yes, I'm an exhibitionist, but yes, I'm also a voyeur but the voyeur side of me, I think, comes out in my parties. Mm-hmm. Because I like watching people, but I like watching people be able to be in that safe place and be willing to explore whatever it is they want to explore at that moment. So that's my voyeur moment.
So can we briefly take a moment and explain, because I don't want to lose the audience. Mm-hmm. Can you explain what the exhibitionist and what the voyeur is?
Exhibitionists like to be watched for the most part. They like the acts and people to have their eyes on them of some type of attention. Okay. The voyeur, usually, now I'm not expert, so let me just say that real quick, but these are my opinions also versus what I have seen in dictionary form.
And voyeurism, not voyagers, okay? Right. Voyeurism, watching. Voyagers mean you're traveling somewhere, people. So we're going to go ahead and stop saying voyagers, okay?
Well, voyeurism. Some people, tomato, but, you know, you can read, you can see this. But that's another story. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into it. But yeah, that's that part. That's like my swinger life. And then, but my poly life, like I said, I've always somehow or another had more than one boyfriend at a time. Okay. I start off with cousins.
Really?
Don't ask me how it happened, but I like that one and I like that one, and they both like me, and they was like, choose, and I was like, no.
Now, is that like a incest type of thing, or
no? Because the cousins weren't with each other.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
No. I got you. Sorry, not my cousins.
We don't do incest around here. Like kissing cousins? Yeah, like kissing cousins.
But look, not my cousins.
Okay.
But other people. I was with two boys that were cousins, and we all kind of, I dated started. Them. Ooh. Right. So it was like a V. Okay. So a V is basically when one person here and one person here. Like,
and that's a form of a poly that you learned to.
Poly, I did not realize it at the time. Oh, that's right. I
poly V. Bring it out. We got a whiteboard just in case you guys get a little lost.
Hopefully this here.
So we're going to mention poly V. That's the first one that comes up in the discussion. She's going to break it down to you so you guys have my first.
Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? Oh, we got to go darker.
We might have to go a little bit darker.
Hold up. No, I got you. We're going to swing the fat. This is how you know I can cook.
Artwork at its finest. Okay, folks?
Now, let's see. Can you see it a little bit better?
Yes, we can.
Now? Okay.
Yes, we can.
There we go. So I was here. Yep. I got to remember where my screens are. And here were the two guys I was dating with.
So they don't touch each other?
They don't touch each other.
Okay.
There also happen to be straight guys. Okay. So usually when you have two heterosexual people that's dealing with someone of the opposite sex, they usually don't deal with each other, at least romantically and physically.
And if they do, that would be considered an MFM, or possibly if they touch each other, that would be an MMF.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So that's male, female, male. That means the men are straight. That's basically a threesome with two males. Okay.
Some people like to say train, but train is not the same.
That is not a train. Okay.
That is different.
And then for those who like, say for example, bisexual men who like to touch each other, it's more MMF, male, male, female. So we wanted to drop that jewel to you.
And then sometimes it is still male, female, male, but the both men can, depending on the dynamic of that relationship or that situation at the moment. So
interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what does the lifestyle mean to you?
The lifestyle is such a broad term because there's so many different avenues and umbrellas and things, but the general part of lifestyle for me gives me freedom.
So let me ask you first. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Clarify for the audience the branches that you serve in the lifestyle.
For me, lifestyle.
So they know exactly which.
So let me also show my little tattoo because I got my upside down pineapple. Because
we are solidified. Let me tell you something. We should all get upside down pineapple. That's how you know we live in the life. Okay, that's nice.
But technically, I play well with others. But for me, when it comes down to my different worlds that I'm in lifestyle, I am a nudist. Okay. I am poly. I am a swinger. And then in those categories, I have like little subcategories just for me and the way I live for me. Okay. You know, being a parent, I have to be somewhat cautious. Mm-hmm. As a Black parent, I have to say it like that because we were not raised to not all of us were raised like that. Right. Some of us were raised, put your clothes on, don't be fresh, if that makes sense.
Listen, my mother walked around with her titties swinging,
Yes.
okay? And she didn't waste no time. When she come in the house, she ripped them things off
And that's
and
usually
didn't even
what
give
happened.
a damn if the pastor showed up to the front door. My house, my bills, I'll
rules.
dress up when I come
Yes.
to church. But when you come here, I'm not putting nothing on.
And I'm not mad at that. And then some of us, unfortunately, had the total opposite. You know, clothed all the time. And the rule was, God forbid a fire happened, you wouldn't be able to run outside and not have to put some clothes on. So that was like that was the reasoning behind it. But in all actuality, a lot of us weren't taught or raised by people who were comfortable with their bodies. And then there's other things that go along with that. But that's besides the point. So for me, when I was first coming into it, I've been a nudist since maybe 10, because I was comfortable showing my body, even if other people weren't comfortable seeing it, or, you know, kids are cruel in school. You know what I mean? I've never been a small chick, so that never bothered me, but not everyone could handle that. So what I started doing was, I can't show myself. And then I got to a point of, hold up, that's your body, you control that? I'm going to control mine. So literally around 14 is when I had like the flip of, I don't care who you are, what you say about me.
You embraced it.
I quickly embraced it. And not being funny, when boys started noticing, oh, she got a fat butt. Oh, okay.
Yes. And men love confidence. That's another thing.
And I've been like this ever since. So it just stuck with me. So it is what it is.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
She's dropping some really, really good jewels. And I want to just go back to just even me saying, hey, you know, don't worry about the judgments. Don't worry about your family. Don't worry about your friends. None of that stuff. They're going to judge you whether you're doing right or doing wrong. And again, I don't see anything wrong in wanting to be uncaged from man's clothing, okay? Well, we was originally supposed to be naked in the first place.
That part,
so, yes, I definitely understand. But I think some of the most important part that caught my attention was that there's so many other young individuals out there who are struggling and being judged, and whether it be just something with sexuality, body shaming, anything like that.
People change, especially when you go through
puberty.
Thank you.
Stuff
Couldn't
like
get the word.
that.
Go through puberty. You know, you went from a flat chest to nothing to now you're having something, or your butt starts changing. You start having hair, smells, and everything. And some people don't know how to handle it for themselves, let alone try to teach their children or another child, or whatever the case may be. So now growing up as an adult, you have to deal with these issues, and some people still deal with that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the point that I wanted to get to was, you know, there's never a particular age where you can have your backbone and say enough is enough. I'm going to be me regardless of what the world thinks of me. And that's when you really start coming out of your cocoon and really becoming the butterfly that you're
never
supposed
too old,
to be.
You're never too young for that to happen.
It's grown. Again, the lifestyle, we all know it. It's adults that's still in the closet. Like, what you gonna do? Stay in the casket? Like, you're not trying to say it like that.
Right. But that's
at
what
what
happens.
point in time are you going to just, like I said, rip the Band-Aid off the experience and really, even if you gave yourself a taste of freedom and it scares you or you want to go back, you know what I'm saying?
Look, what you start opening up Pandora's box, baby.
Yeah, but don't cheat yourself, okay? That's the number one thing in the lifestyle that I want to get people to understand. Don't cheat yourself at all. You want to do it. Just be adult enough to take the consequences that come with the action that you're making.
That's
all right?
That's right.
So what is your status currently right now in the lifestyle?
Right now, the best way I can say is I'm poly, single, solo.
Ooh, now you got to break that down, honey.
I got you. Look, we're gonna
I don't even know what that is.
Handy dandy markers.
Okay.
So I am a single woman in general, in the monogamous life and in the poly life. Okay. But because I am a poly woman, I got all the markers. Because I'm a poly woman, that means I'm gonna use this little piece right here.
Okay.
That this is me, dead center. Anybody that comes around will have to be able to deal with anybody else. Let me make these a little bit bigger, that I decide to deal with, regardless if it's a man, a woman, old or young. If you can see it, you can see it. Wait, let's turn
perfect.
it.
So these are your options that you choose to be a
if
part
I decide to.
Okay.
Yes, and then I can connect them however I connect, regardless. Yeah, we're gonna do something. So regardless if these two people know each other or these two people know each other, regardless, or this person's by themselves and they only know me, and this person only knows me. However, can we see it? Let me see.
I can get you a black one. The blue might be better. Yeah.
All right, the blue might be better, but that's all right. No worries. So look.
Can we get another?
They can see it.
You sure? Okay.
Okay, cool. Look, if you say we can see it, we can see it.
So now I want you to just slow it down just a little bit.
You.
So
I'm gonna back up.
I'm just as,
I'm gonna back up. I
curious
promise
anybody
you.
else. Now, I'm going to give, let's keep it fun. I'm going to give kind of like the vanilla version or thought of what I think is happening here.
Okay.
Because as you know, most people, they say, oh, the lifestyle uses poly as an excuse to do this, that, and the other. So my thing is, just from this one here, it's called what again?
I'm poly solo.
Poly solo. So she's dead smack in the middle and all of her partners are revolving around her, but they're never interacting with each other, just you.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So poly solo, the best way I can really explain it, let's say I live in my house, right? And this is your house. And this is, we're going to use these on the table. These are all separate houses. All right. I basically am by myself, which is okay. Right. Now, I am flexible depending on who I'm in a relationship, and this is the way my poly is.
Okay.
There are some people, I have to say this, who are poly solo and will never cohabitate with somebody, or they will never have a
meaning live with someone under
live
the
with
same
somebody,
roof? Okay.
right? And it's under the same roof. There are some people who are poly solo that only want to be by themselves and just date openly with maybe regular people.
So, with that being said, would this be the AKA player?
Not necessarily, no. Because this same person could have multiple types of relationships.
Okay.
So, for example, maybe whoever's in, we'll just say this house here, I may have a emotional connection only because this person may be what they consider asexual. They're not a person who does a lot of physical, they don't fuck.
There you go. And a lot of people, they use that as like voyeurism or something like that.
Not necessarily.
But voyeur is a watcher. But asexual, you're not stimulated at all, right?
And if they do have any physical interaction, it could be once a year.
Could you imagine?
Look, some people are like that, but emotionally gives them enough that they don't have to worry about ever physically being touched.
So AKA get your back blown out. Okay. All right. If you gotta go, if you good with once a year, that must be some good. Peep it out when they come, okay? Because at the end of the day, ain't no way in hell.
Well, look. My life, your life. Look.
I don't think I'm built for the poly life.
Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Okay. If you ain't seen, I said, but there are some people who are like that, and that's fine. All right. So most people who are asexual, honestly, would be poly solo.
Poly solo.
Not always, but in a lot of situations, because they don't need to have the physical interaction sexually. Gotcha. They may hang out with you. We're going to have dates. We're going to have a really amazing relationship, but they're more like literally the best friend in that relationship.
So it's more like a mental connection.
They have nothing but that, right? And it's not just being sapiosexual, because sapiosexual could be that in any form. Sapiosexual, for those who don't know, is literally mental stimulation is what will turn you on, regardless of the physical attraction or not. If you're stupid, you're not going to turn me on. Yeah. If you don't know how to say spaghetti, no, I'm just playing. But there are some things that literally, if a person is not intellectually on that person's level, because respectfully, you could talk about cartoons and philosophy and politics and religion. If you could do all these things, to me, you're turning me on. Okay. But some people who say something, you go, you're stupid. Yeah.
So in the vanilla world, I'm sorry, in the vanilla world, for those who, because they're going to try to compare the two a lot.
And they combine more than people think. But continue.
So in the vanilla world, having the poly and having the different options and being attracted to the personalities and things of that nature, most people say, well, that's maybe something regular. You're supposed to get to know people and personality, but everybody can be considered a sapiosexual. Not really, because what you're doing is you're dating, right? And then you're like, this conversation, oh, they're stupid, or, oh, this person is having intellectual conversations, this, that, and the other. And as any female, that majority of females, we get turned on. The first thing we want is a man who uses their brain. You get what I'm saying? So sapiosexual inside the vanilla world, would you consider that to happen more often than usual. Maybe people don't know that they're experiencing what really they're considering sapiosexual. This man is really having some good conversation, or could it be anything more objects and you know what I mean?
I think
other
for
things.
that, everybody has something that gets them, that speaks to them. You know, me and you having this conversation and people hearing the way our dialect and how we're going back and forth can physically turn someone on because, wow, these are two smart, intelligent women that are having this type of conversation. They're trying to understand something. Right. For them, they may be turned on. That doesn't mean that they, regardless if they like how you look, how I look, you know, regardless of whatever fetish, just hearing some of the things on one level, this is a small level that we're having, will at least pique their interest to want to go somewhere else. Now, regardless if we were lifestyle or just regular, and I'm saying regular loosely, yeah. But you know, when it come down to just having a relationship in general, somebody somewhere is gonna be like, oh, I like her because at least I know she can carry a conversation. Mm-hmm. That in general are most people. That's not everybody, regardless of being sapiosexual, however you want to say it, regardless of being a general person who knows how to speak a language, regardless if it's English, Spanish, or whatever. A person who can have a conversation helps a lot, no matter what world you're in. Mm-hmm.
And somebody that can make it through a conversation, whether it be, you know, lack of opinion, you know what I mean? Some people can't even take a simple debate, like they're always on the defense, things of that nature. So.
Correct. So this is the reason why that's just one small side of it. But not being funny, I don't care if you're vanilla or if you like a whole bunch of sprinkles. Most people want someone who can handle a conversation. But here's the thing, and you'll understand the difference. There's a difference between someone being talked at and actually talking with. Mm. Some people, oh yeah, I want someone who's really smart, but they're constantly talking to. And the person can't get a word edgewise, or the person can't have a conversation back and forth. So there is no dialogue, but, oh, I really like our conversation, you know, but the whole entire time I was just listening and you didn't. Right. No, a lot of people don't understand the difference. Some people just hear it and they don't realize what they're actually doing. So that's that part. But I'm trying to go back to where we were a second ago. For the solo poly. So this here person and this person I may have sex with.
But they're separate.
Separately.
Okay.
I may have, regardless if it's male, female, I'm just going to use it because of the color of the markers or the highlighters, whatever. They may
We going to use this as boy and girl for now. And speaking of that, would you happen to be on the bi side?
I mean, you know, I dabble and I dabble.
There's nothing wrong with the lady pine every now and then. Listen, I stumbled across heteroflexible, and that's where I'm staying at as of right now until I find out exactly.
Shiba.
Listen, I personally do not go scouting for women, you know what I mean?
But every so often
I think women are beautiful. I think they're beautiful inside out. I personally am not attracted to the actual, you know,
the box.
Yes, the box.
Got
so for
Understood.
me, I'm not like, ooh, I have been with like my partner or something, and you know, they like a female. Yes, I definitely will indulge fully and enjoy myself, but I can't see myself as of right now, like literally, like, hey girl, like whistle down the street, like no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean?
So I will say, for me, I am physically attracted to women. Yes, emotionally, it takes a special one to catch me, because I can do a sister wife like relationship, but whoever I'm with, I need to always have a man. That's just how I am.
Sister wives would be the same thing as like the kissing cousins example that you gave. Is that the same thing?
Not quite.
Okay. So sister wives, so we got a lot of terms to break down when it comes to poly, but she's very knowledgeable. She can get us the information that we need quickly. But yes, explain to the sister wives, because that's become a very, very popular term, and everybody want to be sister wives.
So sister wives in the technical aspect, if you take it back, so we have to go to religion for this here part. Okay. A sister wife really is two women who share the same husband. Where it really came from, if you go back biblically or back in time or whatever the case may be, let's say, for example, they're married, he passes away, this here's the other woman, right? She's married to this here person, these person here, right? They're brothers. what happens is a sister wife, because he passes away, he's supposed to take care of her. That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. They're not, look, these two women have nothing to do with each other except for the fact that they are now wives to the same man, and he has to take care of both households because she is now a widow and have maybe no son, or maybe her son is too young to take care of her, or
are
have
sister
nobody.
wives always connected through death or tragedy?
No, but that's the original.
Okay.
That's part of the original. That's history.
Okay.
So that's really what happened. So if you look at like I'm using a name in about now. Look, for those who happen to be Bible thumping folk,
I needed this information.
Let me just say this: for those who are Bible thumping or know religion very well, I'm not saying I do. I was born and raised in it, but I don't know everything. So let me just say that real quick. But I'm going to use a name as an example because it just sounds good from the Bible. Okay. Joseph's father Jacob. Mm-hmm. He had 4 wives and a couple concubines. Right. Mm-hmm. He had 12 sons. If any one of his sons' sons died, that family is supposed to keep going with the same family. They're not supposed to abandon the family, abandon the wife and the children. They're supposed to take them. So one of the brothers would marry her, not to necessarily have children, not to necessarily be in love with her, but to make sure that she is taken care of and the family can continue the legacy and they can do what they need to do. Then the son comes of age and he can marry, but when she gets old and gray, they're supposed to bring the mother on. That's family. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be.
So let me ask you, what's the difference between the ancient sister wives versus the modern day sister wives? Can you give a positive and a pro and a con?
I got you.
Okay.
You know the TV show Sister Wives?
I don't watch it.
That's all right. So there's this one man who happens to, I believe, Mormon or polygamist or whatever. So a lot of people see it negatively when you talk about polygamy. All right. In polygamy, there's one man, or OPP, a one penis policy. All right. And then he has multiple women. That's in some triads. That's in some quads. I will get to that. Okay. All right. That's in some other aspects. And this one man, this one penis, this one person wants to be able to have the multiple whatevers, the multiple wives, but he has to be able to take care of however many wives he has. Some people go straight to Islam with it, but being misconstrued of this man is allowed to have up to 7 wives. No, he's only allowed to have up to 7 wives if one, the first wife is okay with it, the main wife, and he has to be financially capable of taking care of not only him. I'm gonna put him right here because he's supposed to take care of all of them. He gotta be able to take care of all of them, not just collectively but separately, and the children that you have with each woman.
That's a lot to take on,
and respectfully, look, especially nowadays, that's not happening. Yeah. Now,
a lot of people like the idea of it. You know what I mean? Maybe the fun part of it. And what I'm noticing now, one of the worst things, and I'm gonna let you continue, is that it's more of a showboat than it is like a real connection and more about the family and the children and things like that. Now it's more like, how many women can I get? How many women can I show off?
How many women can take care of me?
And don't get me wrong, ladies, I'm not letting y'all off the hook because y'all out here trying to connect with girls y'all don't even like for the sake of a penis that ain't even go take care of y'all anyway. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm asking her, what's the difference between the ancient, what we would consider to be the correct one, versus those who are kind of just exploring and trending is what I call it, just to make themselves look good in today's time.
So today's time, let's talk about the way a lot of people are starting to be more poly now, or more triad. Triads basically just mean 3 people. All right, a throuple. Some people call that. Whatever, 3 people.
And how many people can a poly get up to? As many as you want, or depends
So they call it a kitchen table. Kitchen table could be as many people as possible.
A kitchen table poly.
That's
unlimited partners. That's interesting.
To a degree, but but they all have some type of something or goal or connection, but that's later on in this conversation.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Maybe we'll have another more in detail episode about that because there's so many poly terms out there.
The umbrella is, and I suggest people to Google it too. Like you could just Google polyamory or polyamorous and just see the different umbrellas that come up because people think literally it's just a fuck for all. And that's not necessarily the case because not being funny, when you put your finances in these relationships, because let's be honest, a one-on-one monogamous relationship when two people come together is hard. When you start adding another heart, another personality, another mindset, another way someone was raised, that's something completely different.
Right.
So now you got 3, 4, whatever the case may be, up to people that not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody's going to like each other. Not everybody's going to be able to handle everything. It's a lot.
So with that being said, that actually brings me to my next question.
Okay.
What criteria or what method do you use to choose your partner? How do you know who's good for you, who's not? Are you like saying, you know what, this person is meant for this poly or this person is meant for this poly? Do you have multiple polys going on at one time? And
some people
kitchen table of poly V or poly X all in one, like
so for me and mine, let me speak only for that. Whoever I deal with has to be able to handle not just my poly side, but also my swinger side, my nudist side, and then my whatever else that comes with me side. Because I'm a multifaceted person. Yeah, that's the perfect way to say it. I am. Because I like more than one thing. I don't just want chicken on my plate.
Right. You like variety, and a lot of people love variety.
And some people can't handle that. Now, what I don't like, I will tell you this, is a man who, I don't like OPP.
It's so funny how that term changed when you go from one person's stuff to I'm down with everybody's stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a big thing, but there's nothing wrong with the OPP for those who are into it. But I'm the type that if I decide I want to be with another man, I need my man to be okay with it. So the best way I can say for my swinger side, I need a stag versus a cuck.
Oh, please break that down right quick because that's gonna go past them.
So for those who understand a cuck king or queen, those are the man or woman who likes to see their partner, I'm going to say it like that, with another person. They do not always play. Sometimes it's also a respect thing, a slightly humiliation thing. Not in every situation. I have to say that because I don't want to upset anyone. But for example, a cuck would be a man who...
Bring me into this party and watch me. And you go over there and you watch me from over there. Because you know what? I'm going to do these men and I'm going to come back home and I'm going to do you too. And we still go love on each other tomorrow.
Yes.
All right? Yes. That's how that go.
Yes. But stag is more of, he will help pick out who. He will also be one to say, nah, babe, I don't want you with that one.
I need me a stag.
Stag is more of a dominant figure.
I don't need me a stag.
Not a dom. Not a dom. There's a difference between being a dom and being aggressive, etc. Because you know me, I'm not a dom, but I'm an aggressor.
Right.
But he's more the one who's gonna be like, all right, babe, go have fun, do you. But if I don't like somebody, I'm gonna pull them off. If someone gets to, I'm not just gonna let somebody tear it on up and not know how to respect it either.
Right.
So stag is a little bit less humiliation, more backbone-ish, if that makes sense. But for me, a stag is also the one who can go play with someone else as well. So I'm not a cuck queen, and I'm just a cheerleader for mine. Right. So whoever I deal with has to not only be able to, I won't say has to watch me play, but needs to be comfortable knowing that I'm going to go play with someone else.
Right.
And is not going to hide them playing either.
Yeah. Trust is a big thing, especially partnerships, like I said, and a lot of couples, they are married. So don't get the game confused while you guys are out here playing the single life and playing house with people. Yes. There really are people out here who are actually married that are living the lifestyle, not just going to the parties to see what's happening and just try different things, but actual couples who understand like, yo, we married for the next 100 years of our life.
Can you see it? It says
trust. Yes. We're married. We're going to be married for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
You're not here to control me. I'm not here to control you. Yes, we are one and we move as one. We are not trapping or stumping each other's growth.
We're gonna leave from the party together.
So the number one thing that you can take from this is the fact that being poly stretches your jealousy, stretches how long your patience, your marriage, on how strong your marriage can be as far as locking it up.
How weak.
Yes, how weak, because there are people that go out there and become seriously attracted to other people, in which it is natural. And most people don't think that being attracted to multiple people is natural. Like, if that's the case, then that's a lie.
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize we go to a party, we go as a couple, and that one person makes that one sound come out of you that you didn't know that you could make. And then I'm like, hold up, I've never heard them make that sound before. Instead of being upset, now, yes, jealousy is a natural thing.
Oh, you did him better than me.
But not
you
even
did
that.
her better than me.
But not even that. It's, oh, wow, they made you feel a way that I haven't. I like the fact that you felt that. Let's talk about it. Versus, oh, you ain't never make that noise with me before. Right. No, because not being funny, you're not shaped the same way as somebody else.
Right.
A flower is shaped different.
More deep than somebody else, down deep.
Deep down inside. Okay, there's a club song that says it. Amen. I'm just saying, there's ways. So when a person goes to that, instead of being jealous in a negative side, being jealous on a positive is, hey, I see that you really enjoyed yourself with that person. One, would you like to play with them again? Two, I was a little jealous, but hopefully it turned them on to hear that.
Right.
Also, what was done? What was that one move, or how did it feel? Tell me what you were feeling in that moment to make you have this explosive, whatever the case may be. Was it hurting you that you made that noise? Or did it actually feel good? There's so many different things that need to be discussed when a person does decide to go out and play. And the difference that a lot of people don't realize is, in poly versus swinging, poly is the emotional strings attached.
Okay.
Swinging is no strings attached. Now, don't get me wrong.
Hear that, people.
You may have connections. You may get friendship. I got people that I've been friends with for years. I'm like a auntie to some people, their kids. But we may not ever play again because of how dope our relationship became on a friendship level. But at the same time, if we ever played, there's a trust there. Trust there. So the strings that become attached, you have to be able to decipher what kind of string it is.
Right.
Is this the string that every time I see you at a party, I know I'm going to get a good nut, so I'm going to always play with you? Or this is the string that I like you, I want to see, can we cross it over into something else? A lot of people who are poly were swingers. A lot of people who are poly won't swing again, or they go, which a lot of monogamous people do, that kind of sometimes rub me the wrong way. They go in their whole phase and they'll swing until they get into a relationship, and then as soon as they get into one, they come out of the swing life.
Stop. And that's a whole nother episode, because I was just talking about that the other day, and that is a problem within itself. But I'm gonna say the reason I'm stopping it is because that is one episode outside of my pegging episode that triggers me in a certain type of way.
Gotcha.
Because that is where, in my experience in the lifestyle, where I started getting emotionally disrupted, because as a young girl and a young age, you're searching for this community your entire life. And then you finally get set up with these beautiful people that are just like you, and they talk a good game.
They talk a good game,
but it never transpires the way that they set you up to be. And then that's where segregation and cliques happen in the lifestyle, because I said to you, there are lifestylers and people who are actually living the lifestyle. And how do you know the difference? People like us, ourselves, we will tell you, this is something I've been feeling since a kid. This is something in me. Not, hey, I met this guy or this girl one day and we went to an event and we did this and I fell in love with it. And now all of a sudden I'm just, you know what I mean?
I don't walk this walk. I talk this talk. I walk this walk. I talk this talk. I eat it. I live it.
Right. Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and put that in another episode because it's nothing worse. And I'm telling you, that's how mental health issues start sometimes in the lifestyle. When you think that you found that community and that safety blanket, and then you realize, and then you realize that some people are actually frauds. And you don't want to deal with when you're dealing with your real identity, not just trying to find yourself, but you already know who you are, what you like, and what you're willing,
and then somebody cloud your mind.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and into another episode on that day. But
let me know when I'll be
here.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you prioritize yourself and your independence? Do you get overwhelmed with, like, there's times where you want multiple partners, and it sounds like I don't even feel like being fucking bothered.
Oh, when I want to be bothered, people, I shut it down. I'm going to, I love you. Good night.
Okay.
My bed is calling me. I'm sorry. That's the best threesome I ever had in my life. My bed, my pillow, and my blanket. Okay. I'm just letting you know.
Listen, have you ever dropped someone off of a poly? How many people, the most that you've had? Let me ask that.
Ooh, I know this sounds really crazy. Back in high school, I had a lot more. Because that's when I was first coming into it, not knowing what the terms were. I joked around. I had one for every day of the week.
Yep.
And I know that sounds crazy. And at one point I had one from every day of the month on a 30-day month. I'm just saying.
This is real, folks. And don't act like y'all wasn't doing it either. Because high school is where it all started. Clicks after clicks after clicks.
Right.
Let me go to such and such house. Ain't nobody mama home.
And I wasn't having sex with all of them. Or half of them at all.
Everybody got a lot of homies, a lot of girlfriends. And that's how it started. You're sitting on the stoop. You smoking. You're not drinking. But,
some people drinking.
Dry humping is where it starts. There you go.
I never did that in school.
Never dry hump? I got dry humped in preschool. I went straight
to the real hump.
I got dry humped in preschool. That's how much you gotta watch your kids, okay? Underneath a little toddler table. Oh yeah, I was getting slobbed down. And my little boyfriend, his name was Lamar. I'll never forget him. And
Lamar.
And I'm raised by a single father too, just to share that with you, right? And let me tell you something. He was in love with this little boy, and he didn't even know me and this little boy was slobbing each other underneath the table. Shout out to Lamar. I don't even remember his last name, only remember his face. But let me tell you, it
Lamar,
was a great.
Where you at?
That's how I knew that it was in me, okay? Probably the best succulent preschool lips ever had in my life, okay? But anyway,
we in front of the congregation, Lamar.
We all got to start from somewhere. It's in me, okay?
I wasn't that young when mine started.
It's in me.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen, we all have some fun.
Hey, look, no judgment zone. No judgment zone. I'm laughing though.
I've had brothers, cousins, twins. As you get older, you get uncles and fathers.
Look, I am of age where I get the grandfather, the father, and the sons.
Hell, at this age, the women start coming at you. At this age, I'm like, the women are cougars.
And the daughters, okay? I am up.
I've had one woman scare me away. I'm like, hold up, sister. I ain't even on that type of wave. She was, I want that. I'm like, oh, baby. Like, it was, whoa. You know, but you know what? I enjoy the experiences. I don't run either. When the kitchen get hot, I'm all up in there. I'm flipping burgers. I'm frying chicken. Like, cause I want to indulge in it. And I don't want to walk away from a time where I'm like, damn, I missed out on this experience. I regret this. I regret that. It is what it is. We could go into other episodes like sugar daddies and all types of stuff. We not going to act like it's people out there not getting what they need. Oh, he old. No, he ain't old, but you milking him for his money. That's what you're doing. You trying to put yourself on a beneficiary, trying to get the life insurance. So when that man clunk out, you can be like, oh, my husband, I'm so rich. I'm so taken care of. No, you ain't. You fucked your way to the top. Anyway, let's get back to Polly.
I'm fan of her because she done got hot. She went on a roll.
All right.
She was in the kitchen long.
The moral of the story is walk the walk and talk the talk. There you go.
And eat the plate.
There you go.
And come on, anime, eat that cake.
There you go. Listen, I'd rather be in the studio booth by the fish tank. That's where I'm at. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good saying. I'm sorry.
That's where I'm at. Hey, Ike, come on, Ike.
No, okay, all right. Look.
your ass.
Look. Holy water.
But listen, tell me about.
Back to this.
What boundaries do you have that you say, I don't care what relationship I'm in, specifically poly, I'm dealing with multiple individuals. Do you have any set boundary that goes universal across the board?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have non-negotiables, 100%.
Okay.
So I'm a mother first. Mm-hmm. Whoever I deal with, I'm running background checks and everything because respectfully, I have a daughter who is becoming of age, and what I won't do do I have to go further? Because
you got to still protect your kids.
Because what I won't do, I have a son who is damn near grown, and what I won't do, so there are some boundaries that will not get crossed. I have been married before, and yes,
inside the lifestyle or outside the lifestyle?
Both.
Okay.
Technically. I'm gonna get to that. Okay. That may be for another episode, but I have been married prior to the lifestyle. So let me back up a little bit. Before I became completely poly, knowing that I was poly, knowing titles, knowing terms, coming to a realization of who and what I am, I thought I had to be this one person. I thought I had to be this good girl and be put in a box, basically saying that I can't even be bisexual or anything. I thought that's what I had to be a good wife. That is not the case. You could be all these things and be a good wife. You don't not have to be in this here small little box right here. There's so much more you can be. Now, once I came into myself and whatever the case may be, I was living with a man before I got married to my husband. And they both knew. They both wanted what they call, some people call it don't ask, don't tell. So that's more of a V. But the difference with the V is there's like a line in the middle.
So let me stop you right there. Yeah. The don't ask, don't tell policy is equivalent to semi in the vanilla world of, hey, don't get too caught up with worrying about what your partner thinks, whether you're coming home at night, who you're doing it with, the details with, the whole nine. So what I've learned is, I've learned this from someone, that the don't ask, don't tell policy, because I thought I was going to set something up like that one time with a partner. Okay. And he wanted to know either before or after. And I was on the page of, I just rather for you not to know. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
But
that's very hard.
That was in the beginning because you wanted to protect your innocence and also how they feel. And again, you may not be having those open conversations.
Worst things, in my opinion, personal opinion. Okay,
stay open.
I don't like don't ask, don't tell, because
it's hiding.
It feels like hiding. Yeah. And you know what? One thing I have never done and I will never do is let someone feel like they're second, like they're the other, like they're a sneaky. I don't sneak nothing. Yeah. I don't sneak nothing. Yeah. So I will say flat out, I'm going such and such. I have gone on vacation with my then boyfriend, who became my husband later on, while my other one was at home. Yeah. Yeah. And that's hard. And that's what we're telling you about. That takes you to step out of your shell, be the adult that you need to be. And it doesn't matter what the consequences are, whether that person will leave you, hate you, love you, or whatever else. You got to relieve that off your chest and clear your conscience. Now, what I will tell you, for men, and honesty goes harder. A long way. Women is hard, but not being funny, a woman will date a married man and act like she's the other wife. Yeah. And the whole entire time, that's not what you really need to be, because you really are a sneaky link. Yeah. But men who know are one thing, but men who deal with a woman who say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, it takes a lot for them. And I appreciate them, because most men, not saying, and I'm not speaking for men, because I don't have a penis, I don't know. But I do. Oh, go ahead. I'm not talking about the one in the drawer.
I got you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm talking about attached.
I did what you think. It's attached. Listen, I was down here doing my thing the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, don't touch my shit.
That's a coochie.
Okay. You know what? I love to have some jokes. So I love to have some what you call kicks and giggles and stuff like that. I love Miss Africa. As you can see, we just inappropriate, out of line. We love each other the whole night. No, I don't have my strap on today. Right. But that episode will be coming soon.
That's another story.
You know what I mean? But yes, that leads us to, like we were talking about, the jealousy, the insecurities, the don't ask, don't tell. People have that policy. A lot of married couples have that policy, which I
thought a lot of married couples don't have that policy.
I've come into a little bit of both, honestly.
I find the ones who have that policy are
separated.
Let me say this.
Some of them are separated that have that don't ask, don't tell.
Let me do it like this. The man, I'm not saying in every situation, because there are women who do this too, but I'm just going to use this for the example, okay? Example. The man is married to the woman, and he has a don't ask, don't tell policy with his side. And he's doing all the swinger stuff, all the poly stuff, all the stuff,
dangerous.
and the missus at home,
oh no,
no, he's doing something, but don't know because she'd rather keep good faith and face that, oh, he will change, he will stop, he will this, he will that. He will come back home to his family. He will do the X, Y, and Z, and whatever the case may be. And she know he out, but she don't want to know nothing because she don't want to feel like Boo Boo the fool. Well, Boo Boo, you are being a fool because he out here making a mockery out of you by doing the X, the Y's, and the Z's.
So the don't ask, don't tell policy, would you say that it is more of the protection of the person that doesn't want to necessarily accept the fact that they may or may not be hurt or doesn't have the emotional capacity to deal with the situation that they have, just in case or they stay in the relationship knowing that they are not married to the person that they, you know what I mean? You have a version of somebody that maybe you can't keep up with, maybe you can't satisfy.
I got one better. It's an 80-20 rule. The one you with give you that 80, but that 20 is so tempting.
Yeah.
That they need it, or they feel like they have to have. They feel that sometimes they're entitled to it, and they're really not. And not being funny, most of the time, the person who has the 80, there's multiple factors. Either one, they don't want to look at that person like that, even if that person is willing to give them the extra 20 in some capacity. Two, that person isn't their thing. And this here person been, and you'll understand what I'm saying this. And this all come together. We've dated and done so many things in our dating through life. This is the reason why people back in the day dated one person and got married to that one person. Because now we done dibble and dabble so much that our stuff that we like, our kinks and our things that get us hot and heavy, we are losing out on our main person because, well, she don't gobble my throat like such and such does. So I can't deal with her. But this person could be their soulmate.
Yeah.
So now, because of all this here, we got porn, we got all the clapping cheeks and everything that's out there, that these people are losing what they really need to have because they feel like, well, why can't I have this too? Why can't I be entitled to that, et cetera, whatever the case may be, and they don't realize it. So I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever to be in these worlds. I'm saying what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander.
Right.
You know, there are certain situations. There are multiple ways of, okay, you don't want to see your wife sucking on another man's dick, but you're okay eating another chick's pussy.
And that's another thing. The hypocrisy in the lifestyle is the double standard.
It's crazy.
But you know what? That's another thing that I could personally say from my experience. It's easier for me to navigate through hypocrisy in the lifestyle versus on the outside. Because on the outside, in the vanilla world, they seem to be stuck-minded. They're not open-minded, you know.
There's a lot more open-minded people vanilla
you
now.
Think so? Yeah.
Now, in comparison to maybe what it was before. But I think the problem is we never gave people who were quote unquote vanilla an opportunity to actually say, hey, I actually like I've never been vanilla, but I love vanilla ice cream. Let me say it like that, because I can keep it plain or I can add my sprinkles. I can add my nuts.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be to it. I can make it rocky road just by doing whatever it is, or I can keep it plain and vanilla just as simple as possible. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think the problem is without giving someone an opportunity to either say yay or nay. And once a person says nay, once they say I don't want it, if you're in a committed relationship, you should not, one, break it off because that person doesn't like it. You should respect it. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand people go, oh, but you know, this here itch that I have to see what it's about. Is it worth losing? Right. Is it worth the headache? Is it worth everything? Then there's some people who add that third person into it, add that fourth person into it, and it works out tremendously amazing. Yeah. And it's the best thing since sliced bread and apple pie and all the good stuff with the vanilla and the extra ice cream with the caramel drizzle. Yeah. I'm just saying, do I sound fat right now? Hungry? Maybe a little bit, but that's another story for another day. But I'm just saying. Don't
get me started.
Hey, I'm just saying.
So with that being said, because we already, we were getting into the hypocrisy and the double standard, which is also another episode that I would like to create, because again, speaking with you and saying, hey, we haven't given someone the opportunity to do certain things. Me personally, in my curating, I love the newbies. Like my return rate is 100%. They always say, people don't give them a chance. That's what they come to me, especially the guys, but even sometimes single ladies, you know what I mean? Oh, people don't give me a chance, or they go in there and they feel cliquey. The people who are not new to the lifestyle, they don't want to accept you. They're worried about their night and having a good time. You know what I mean? They don't want to connect.
Let me tell you, sometimes them newbies, baby,
I've had fun with some newbies, okay?
Let me tell you, I have a long-lasting relationship. I'm saying relationship as in the swinger world from somebody who was a newbie. And we still cool to this day. Yeah. And every time we say baby, it's like the first time.
Yeah. No, I agree. A lot of the people that I am dear to as well, they've come to the lifestyle. They found me. They give a little pushback in the beginning. Might be called a scam artist, prostitute, whatever it may be. Or I'm just new and I don't know what to expect. You know, Most hosts don't welcome you with open arms. I'd be like you said, come on, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Because at the end of the day, it boils back to the beginning, in which, again, that hits home for me. There are so many children or teenagers out there who are itching to get out their turtle shell. You get what I'm saying? And right. And we're not saying teenagers come out and go into the lifestyle. No, we're not saying that.
No, but that thought is there. Yes. And once it's like a child who's been stuck at home, who's not allowed to do anything, and then all of a sudden they're going off to college and out into this world, and they've never even been down the street without their parent.
Right.
It's like it's literally like a dog off of a leash.
Yeah.
They're going full force and they don't understand what they're going into. Right. And then you'll have somebody who maybe I'm gonna say too slick in the game, who could be a lame to someone who's a veteran.
Right.
Like you and I. We're veterans, so we see we already know the game. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. And then you got some child who don't know. They're of age now, but for us, they still a child because they're so new to it, or they don't know. Or I got one worse. The divorcee that has only been with her husband, or
and now she got to explore other men.
Now she's allowed to, and not being funny. Most people, I hate to say, who also, and this is going to be a sidebar, and I'm taking away off, and it's going to be another topic, who also now are exploring things, who also now having these diseases because they've never been with anybody else, and they've only been with the one person, and they don't know the stuff is out there the same way, and they don't know to protect the same way, or whatever the case may be. This is the reason why a lot of people who's in a lifestyle are cleaner than those who aren't. Yeah. But that's another story for another day.
And that also goes back to the don't ask, don't tell policy, because that's what she was getting into. The reason why the don't ask, don't tell policy is absolutely no good in life, like in general, like it should just be X'd out, is because any lack of communication puts someone at risk.
Yes.
So when you are dealing with someone, you should be 1,000% transparent. Again, regardless of whatever consequence you think that you're going to get in return, you need to release that and make sure that both parties are aware of what's going on. Because like you said, I could be sitting at home, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really about the life, but my husband is. I'm trying to be the best wife possible, sit at home, not complain, not do this, try to allow him his freedom or whatever. And then he's out here, maybe broke a condom, don't say nothing. Maybe didn't use a condom, don't say nothing. Maybe the people that they're sleeping with is doing the same thing. And now you have a pool of boiling pot of STDs and things of that nature. And I explained before, these are things that are inevitable. You can't really avoid them unless you just stop your activities in general. But if you are going to do what you do, the two things that you do, the priority is communicate and protect.
100%. 100%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but a lot of people don't know to do these things. And when you got somebody coming into these worlds and they're naive or they're too scared to ask a question, not because they're stupid, but because they may feel as they're going to get taken advantage of, or they don't know if they're going to get taken advantage of. So they just deal with somebody who, like I said, like if you got the right person teaching you, if you have the right person to ask these questions, even if the person doesn't know, but if they're willing to go find the answers for them, or say, you know what, let's find out together. These worlds that people are entering can be amazing, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Like literally swinging not just poly, but swinging, you are opening up Pandora's box in the lion's den, and baby, I'm trying to bite you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Respectfully.
Now, would you say for the poly, if you said it's the emotional side of that, so would you say that, hey, I like you said, I like swinging, but this is about to burn the shit out of me. So let me go ahead and maybe do something that is close to swinging, meaning a poly. I have multiple people, but now I'm more secured. I could deal with my personal life. I have my finances to take care of. I can have people to come home to at night. But at the end of the day, the trust pool is a little bit higher than it would be as if you weren't in the poly.
Some people, that's what
but
some
you
people
still can't trust the poly either, right? Because it's still human beings you're dealing with.
Humans are humans.
Right.
Humans are always going to be humans. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if you can find people that you can learn to trust, and you find people who can be vulnerable with on multiple ways and multiple areas, you can have also amazing friendships that you never thought you could in different ways. Like, so me, whoever I deal with, regardless if it's another couple, because I have no problem dating couples either. So, but I like established couples. I don't like brand new couples. If you've been in a relationship for 2 years, I don't want you. Yeah. Not because I think I'm going to take somebody away, but to me, your foundation is not strong enough. I need somebody who's been either who are married or who have been living together, let's say 4+, 5+, because I know it is less likely for somebody to blame me for a separation when you two already got problems. Because if you two got problems, you two got problems. Me coming in is not going to fix your problem. And that's another thing. A lot of people are now trying to be poly.
Multiple people, so because they're roommates. You wanted somebody to extra pay your bills. You figure to take a load off of your groceries. You said something, watch my kids while I go out, all types of stuff. And that's just not the case.
I don't watch nobody's babies except for maybe a nephew here and there. Right. You know what I mean? My kids are old enough that I don't have to worry about that. So thank God for that. But no, like, I don't want to be with someone who doesn't understand what it is. And I also don't like being in we're trying out poly now, because not being funny, you're not going to break my heart because you two decide you don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. You're not going to break my heart. And I'm going to do my best not to break yours either, because I need someone who also have been in at least 3-ish poly. I'm saying 3-ish because people can be poly for long term and just been poly with the one person and it worked really, really well. Yeah. And because people are human, they broke up because they're just human, not because, we were poly and poly didn't work out for us. I also don't like, and you'll understand this now, this is where it goes on a woman, when a woman is trying to dictate everything that has to happen in this relationship. I don't like when a woman said, you can't kiss him, you can't do this, you can't, whoa. Yeah. So we have to have mutual boundaries, mutual understanding. Right. Like, you're telling me, so if I want to kiss you, it's okay, I can't kiss him. But I'm supposed to be his girlfriend too. So is he not my boyfriend too? Right. So I'm just here for what? So this is where the term unicorn comes in. So some people are considered unicorn hunters. I don't particularly like
that. Sounds nuts. Unicorn hunter sounds nuts.
I don't particularly like unicorn hunters, and I'm gonna tell you why. A unicorn hunter, in my opinion, well, first let me go break down what a unicorn is. And I don't like it, but I've been called a unicorn.
I don't either. I'm definitely not a unicorn.
I don't like it, but I am a bisexual woman. I am a single woman. I can literally date anybody however I want. I can come and go as I please. And but I choose. A lot of unicorns get chosen, if that makes sense. Not
Please,
saying in
break
every
that down.
situation.
I don't know.
It's like, like Goldie, I choose you, baby. No, I'm just playing. But it's to a degree, and I'm saying that because in some situations, most unicorns, a couple goes looking for them, and then they want to date them.
So is a unicorn seeked out specifically to join a relationship?
Sometimes.
Okay, so that maybe might be the misunderstanding for some people. They're like, I'm single lady in the lifestyle, I'm a unicorn. But a unicorn does have certain criteria of their activities and what they need to do to be considered a unicorn. A unicorn. Otherwise, you're just a single lady in the lifestyle.
Yeah, cause I had to ask a friend of mine, and I was like, I just got called a unicorn. Am I? And they was like, that's a very open-ended question. I was like, wait, what? And the fact that it was like, yeah, technically you are, because of the things I just named. But the difference is what takes me away from the unicorn, in my opinion, theory is because I don't just open up to anybody. Not saying that all of them do, but enough. And this is a personal opinion. This is how I view it. This is not what somebody else may view. But no, I don't want to be chosen by a couple. I want, if anything, and sometimes I don't like the full couple. Sometimes I just like the lady. Sometimes I just like the man.
Okay. So would you say that being called a unicorn was one of the misconceptions that you encountered in the lifestyle?
For me personally, I won't say for everybody, but definitely for me personally, because I don't necessarily think that I am, even though I do fit a lot of the criteria. Right. I mean, like a lot of the criteria, but it's how, most unicorn, you'll listen, a lot of unicorns don't even throw parties. They show up to parties.
That's true. I'm in agreement with you. I wish there was a lady here, excuse me, that's a unicorn that can explain, because I'm on the same page as you, being a mistress, or I don't even a dom, but I'm more of a mistress. That's where my title is. So when it comes to being called a unicorn, the moment that I separated from my partner, even now to this day, the couples are aggressive. They almost like, it's almost like it's mandatory for the single ladies to be a unicorn with the couple. For me, I'm not a fan of couples at all. I am a fan of single guys. I love me some penis. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm hetero flexible, but as far as couples, the reason why I personally don't like them or not a fan of them is because of the unicorn thing and how they treat the single lady. And half the time I'm not attracted to the woman, so I can't go ahead and penetrate, your partnership, because then she'll feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
because I'm not trying to steal her spot.
Right. And again, we come through heavy. We heavy hitters. We confident. We play. We do what we got to do. So it's a guarantee your woman gonna feel some type of way, and it's just that. But again, if they're not on the same page or whatever else, or if that woman is jealous, or you perform better than she does or whatever else, or
don't do what she do, whatever the case may be.
Yes. And the number one thing that I hate the most about someone calling me a unicorn is the fact that a lot of these guys, they try to give me off to their woman. And I don't like that at all. There are a lot of guys out there who are just looking for single women because you trying to satisfy your threesome. And just like we mentioned earlier, a threesome can go both ways. If you want a threesome, I want one too. If you want that FMF, the 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, guess what? I want 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. You understand what I'm saying to you? We got to have this, balanced out. But that's the number one thing that I don't like about being a unicorn. I'm not a unicorn, but the couples, we don't belong to you. Like unicorn hunters, unicorn fishers to me. You could
fishing, hunting,
don't put no bait on your hook because I ain't catching it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, I think I might be a fan of maybe the cuckold queen. Like, give me your man. Let me do what I need to do with him for the night.
I will put you in that.
Let me dominate him or whatever, and I'll send him right back home to you. But you, ma'am, I don't want no parts. And if I do, I also want to dominate you, because any household I walk into, I automatically have this confidence where I'm like, not saying that nobody's better than beneath, but
I know what you mean. That's your
it's
persona.
The dominance in there. You know what I mean? I'm
moment.
loving. I'm very receiving. I'm very receptive. But it's almost like any type of competition or being an athlete. It's like, cool, we on a team, but it's still somebody that's an MVP. You know what I'm saying? It's still like everybody can't be number one. You go to the Olympics, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we're gonna go ahead and where we go? We've been talking. Is that what it is? Oh, you know what? Listen, we're going to get the bloopers too, okay? Everything is not always peaches and cream. But yes, do you have any advice when it comes for anyone like watching or interested in poly? So we can go ahead. We're going to wrap up the conversation, but I definitely want to make sure open-mindedness.
You got to be open-minded. You have to communicate. You have to be, but be open-minded to yourself first, communicate with yourself. And I don't mean talking to yourself. I mean legitimately, if you got to write your stuff down to see, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is a negotiable, this is a non-negotiable, this is something I've been thinking about, this is something I'm not sure about. Talk to yourself in that manner. And if you have a partner, bring that to your partner. Hopefully they are also open-minded enough and communicate enough to let you be in the safe space so you can actually go and talk about it, because there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know even in themselves yet. So if that is something that a person is thinking about doing, that's what they should do. Now, if they're single and this is what they want to go into, okay, cool. But just make sure whoever you're dealing with can also comfortably either bring you in or explore it with you.
Okay.
So, you know, but be careful, be safe, trust yourself, trust those red flag feelings, walk away.
Yeah. And don't keep accepting red flags. Like she said,
yellow
you have
flags,
to learn how to
red
distinguish
flags,
who's
orange
who.
flags, they gotta go.
And make your life a little bit better by not being what I call so greedy when it comes to people. You don't have to be associated and connected to everybody. If you know the red flags are there, it's okay to walk away from people. It's okay to not even connect energy with people. It's okay to not even say hi to people, because you know once you say hi, that attraction comes to you and now you can't get rid of whatever you're trying, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you use your discernment when it comes to people, because like my mama said, some of the problems ain't always the devil. Sometimes it's just you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be going around just trying to blame people, your partners and everything else. Sometimes it is you, but not necessarily pointing the finger saying you're making bad choices. Sometimes you're just overriding the knowledge that you already have because you're insecure in the decisions that you are making. Be stern in the decisions and take the consequence for whatever decision you are going to make, and then kind of pave and, you know, kind of go from there. And then you'll see how life kind of starts to line up for you, because you're weeding out all the distractions and you're listening to self. Like you said, you're talking to self, you're listening to self, you're getting your answers from self, and you're like, yo, this feels right to me. This feels not right to me. You know what's what. Don't override that. All right. This was an amazing episode. I really do appreciate you. Okay. It was very, very long, but you know, we're going to chop it up. We're going to put it here, put it there. But again, you guys know where to find me. You dropped your information as well. Please like, share, comments, and subscribe. Episode number 10. We are making it through, honey.
I need 11.
Yes.
10, 11. Do the 10, do the hand.
10, 11, all that stuff, 20 forever. All right. And if you're interested in coming on for an interview, please, by all means, reach out to me, DM me, the whole nine. I would love to hear, you know, your sides of your stories, and just share your stuff. Okay. Cause this is a safe space and this is what we do here.
We got stories.
Yes. All right. So again, like, share, comment, subscribe. We're out.